Hey buddies, Somenutzguy here. Hope you're having an awesome day so far. In this video, we're going to be going through the 2.9.1 patch notes for RLCraft. We're doing this live. We've got our viewers that may be inputting their own comments along the way as little avatars on the bottom of the screen. I have done a very light skim read of this so far. We're not going to go through absolutely every piece of information on here. There might be a couple of bits where I'm mumble reading through really quickly so that I can pull out the important points to give you. And I was going to do this yesterday when 2.9.1 came out, but Shiv let me know that there was a couple of small bugs that got through the cracks on 2.9.1. So this is for the 2.9.1b hotfix, minor hotfix that was released just the day after 2.9.1 came out. So So the little hotfix, there was a couple of things. There was the baubles and enchantments that affected jumping, like high jump as an example, was not working. They were overlapping each other as there was with the bauble qualities in 2.9 as well. It also fixes the fishing proficiency in level up, which previously broke. The new fishing made better. So a couple little fixes there. Important info, 2.91's worlds are compatible. Dude, I'm still waking up. Can't even do words properly. Probably not the best for a patch note video. 2.8.2 worlds are not compatible, though. Use the latest Forge, blah, 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 server stuff. You got to make sure you use the Optifine version G5. This is all stuff you know from 2.9. This is, again, previous stuff. The default allocated 3 gigs of RAM should still be perfectly fine for 2.9, but 4 gigs is recommended, guys. This is quite a big one as well. I know a lot of people use more than 4 gigs of RAM. 4 gigs of RAM is all you need for RLCraft, according to Shivaxi, the creator, who probably knows what he's talking about. This is server info. We're not going to go through server info, as you guys are probably more interested in just the updates to the actual game itself. These are the mods that have been updated. I will scroll through these slowly for you guys so you can see what mods have been updated. Yep, Inception God in chat has to cut his RAM down. Yep, it's very common. A lot of people are cranking it up to 8, 12. I think I even knew someone that was on 16 RAM. So definitely crank it back down to 4 if you're above that. All right, what do we have added? We have 2 new structures. Rare Nether portal structures, courtesy of Chum and Felix from the building competition. Very cool. 17 new hats, courtesy of Artsy. One of these hats is a nuts hat. It's not an official Somenutzguy hat. It's just an acorn, which is kind of like a nut. Anyway, you got the Spartan Defiled mod, which adds the Spartan Weaponry can be now made with Umbrium, you know, Umbrium pikes and spears and sabers and rapiers and all that good stuff. And better suffocation overlay, which fixes the rendering with the head and camera clipping inside certain blocks, which is quite nice. Removed Baco difficulty and removed in control because they were not being used. All right, so these are the main updates and changes here in 2.9.1b hotfix. Bed break begone. Rewrote to replace both bed and non-bed spawning, not just bed spawning, so stuff like waste bones should respawn properly. It's just good because it really, really sucks to lose your spawn in RLCraft when you think you should have one. There was an issue with Myrmex weapons, so they've been removed entirely. Dynamic trees fixed incorrect check causing leaves to force chunk loading, which is really bad. So there's some actually huge performance improvements in this update, guys. With regards to things like this, but also with Leica Knight mobs, which I think we'll probably get to a little bit later in the patch notes. And they've also fixed tree potions consuming the entire stack upon use, which sounds annoying. Fishing made better had a decent number of changes here. The fishing line will no longer snap automatically over long periods of time. A lot of people were fishing for whales as an example, and whales are really hard to catch. You have to fight the whale for a long time. And the timeout on the fishing was basically making it so whales were almost impossible to catch, as well as some other fish as well. So that's been fixed. You can now wrestle with a fish for as long as you want. Whether it's worth the time is up to you. They fixed the default reproduction time config, making fish taking forever to reproduce. This is with the bait box and the hatcheries, because you can overfish chunks, and if there's no fish left in the chunk, you can't fish it anymore, so you have to repopulate them with a bait box. I'm going to be doing a whole hatchery guide, so that'll be coming out soon. Added a 1 meter forgiveness buffer when reeling in loot, so lag shouldn't delete items, so that's good. Added the end dimension blacklist to lava fish in default config to prevent them from showing up at the end. Wanted to make sure you get the right fish in the right locations. Additional debug info for the fish tracker when in creative mode, which was actually really nice for my testing. Rework the bait box to properly require and use bait based on average weight and not total population, which is really key. Previously, when you're trying to repopulate a chunk with fish, the bait box was consuming so much food, it was crazy. So this is really good. Tooltips for the bait box: reel in speed based on weight, increase the default reel speeds of all reels, and performance fixes, handshake logic to reduce the amount of packets required to sync server and client when fishing, yada yada, what have you, technical jargon. All right, here we go. Leica Knights. Now this is huge. Huge, first word is actually huge. Huge performance boost. The models for Leica Knights are now rendered using VBOs and your GPU, which significantly improves performance when rendering Leica Knight mobs at a time. When rendering many Leica Knight mobs at a time, mob events should be much smoother now, which is really cool. Removed credit from summoning pedestal. People were cheesing like XP farming with summoning pedestals, so they can't be used for AFK farms anymore, which is great. Shivaxi doesn't want any AFK farms at all in RLCraft. We got the summoning pedestal now lasts for 20 seconds with one redstone instead of 60 seconds, so a big nerf to the summoning pedestal. It's definitely a little bit more manual now, instead of just slap a stack of redstone in there and have it last for a week. You know, it's a little bit more manual in terms of refilling and how much it's going to go through. I don't use the pedestal much myself anyway, so that won't affect me too much. It's turned off the particle effects once it runs out of redstone, so you know that it's run out, and so that it doesn't cause any lag when it's not running. The animation has changed. Leica Knight mobs can spawn on snow layers again. Hooray! Wooden Paxel renamed to Hardwood Paxel, as is the equivalent of stone tools, not wood. Okay, so it is the equivalent of stone. This is actually something I was curious myself. The Vespid Stinger level 3 now deals penetration level 2 for 2 seconds instead of level 3 for 3 seconds. So nerf on the Vespid Stinger. The Zafan Spine has been buffed. And yeah, so the Zafan Spine has been buffed to kind of bridge the gap between the Vespid and the Zafan. I think the Vespid was really OP previously, the Zafan not so much, so it's been a bit of a balance there, which is actually probably quite a good idea. The Etzen Club drop chance, who cares? Tweak the underground spawner for the mob counts. Arapid Drill and Eden Club now do damage. Reaper Claw and Clink Scythe now throw projectiles with primary attack instead of secondary. Okay, interesting. The Belphegor Arm now throws projectiles with secondary attack instead of primary. Shovel parts now work on snow. Fix Darklings not spawning during Amalgalich battle. This is quite a big one, because Amalgalich, without the Darklings in the Amalgalich battle, it didn't really seem like as much of a scary battle as it should be. What up, Evie? Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Summoning Staff now work in Lost Cities, which is kind of cool. I thought they agreed not to do that. Okay. Either way, I don't use Summoning Staff that much anyway. Bestiary's summoning page now has a message about needing rank 2. That's nice. All equipment parts can now be crafted into something. Ooh, interesting. Fix Skyless issue. Fix offhand soulstone removing main hand item. Yes, that was a big one. Aegis attack you if you attack Iron Golems. Good. Fixed soul contracts, which was how you trade pets. If you have a pet and you want to give that to someone else, a Leica Knight mob pet, you can now do that properly via soul contracts. Lovely. Changes to RL Tweaker. General. Pathfinding chunk cache fix. Stop ghost chunk loading when creating pathfinding chunk caches. Technical jargon. Speed cap increase. Wait. Mob speed cap now 2048 was 48. This should fix Morok randomly stopping when flying too fast. Oh, that's actually really nice. Because when you use the Morok dash ability frequently, you just bump into an invisible wall, and I thought it was just my computer running slowly and it just like there being an invisible wall due to lack of chunk loading or something. But no, that's really good. Motion checker now checks all entities instead of just mobs for the speed cap, and fixed Ironberry and Ironberry juice causing you to fly sky high. This was a funny bug where if you ate a Ironberry and jumped at the same time and continued to hold space, you would float into the sky until you let go of space. So yeah, the Ironberries got fixed. That's quite funny. Battle towers, enforced tower destruction config prevents clients from changing the tower destruction config. Okay, remove unloaded tower destroys, removes tower destroys from unloaded worlds. Fair enough. Better survival, replace combo handler, replaces the blindness and combo handler entirely for performance. Replace enchantment handler, replaces enchantment handler entirely performance. Some of this stuff I've got no idea what it means. Maybe some of you guys do. For the charm, disable magnetic enchantment. Fix charged emerald. Oh, the charged emerald crash. I never use these too much myself anyway, but apparently it used to cause crashes. Fixed charged emeralds crashing when being fired from a dispenser. Huh. What's the value of that? What can you do? Why is that useful? Firing at charged emeralds from a dispenser. Anyone know what that's used for? Anyone in the comments? All right, environment service delay. This is dynamic surroundings. Delay the environment service for village detection so it runs every second instead of every tick. Maybe performance. I don't know what a lot of this stuff does. Remove ruins trigger functionality. Removes the command block ruins trigger feature as nothing used it and causes issues with player chunk loading. Good. It seems like there's just a lot of performance things, a lot of sort of loose ends that have been tied up, a lot of, you know, useless things that have been either tweaked or removed or fixed.
Doesn't feel like fighting at all.
Yeah, charge emerald spawn lightning, but why would you want that in a dispenser? Serene seasons, more technical jargon. Looks like performance and control, spawner control, performance improvement, spawner control, which needs to create smoky particles and remove obsolete spinners to save performance. Nice. Patches, chunk ticks, enables features for ticking chunk blocks, server compatibility, defects, blah, blah, blah. Sponge fixes, loot tweaker, pathfinding chunk, simple difficulty. Where's the interest? We've gone through a lot of interesting stuff, to be fair, already. So this is, here we go. Simple difficulty, rough life, inspirations, cauldron compatibility, can now drink from cauldrons, fixes for canteens used on cauldrons, pog. So this is cool. So it seems like you can drink directly from cauldrons, which is nice. And I did have a few bugs where my cauldron water wasn't purified if I took it out too quickly, so I think that's what this is referring to. So cauldrons should now work as intended. Tile entities are now separate. Heat calculation is by default. Again, this is really nice for you guys that keep dying to cold or heat. I also just launched a video, or I have a video coming out on this in a few days. Basically, if you put like lava and a heater or heater and a campfire next to each other before they weren't combining their heat values, now they are, so you can effectively increase your heat faster with multiple different types of heat values being given. Using campfire no longer removes items while in creative. And renamed cloth armor to wool armor, as some players got confused if this actually warmed you up or not. Gotcha, okay. Spartan Weaponry. We fixed the throwing weapon items disappearing when the projectile despawns, meaning trees will stop eating them now. Yes, this is a big one. So literally, if you threw a throwing weapon at a tree, it just disappeared. So throwing weapons now much more viable as that bug has been fixed. And reduce the XP cost for replacing enchanted throwing weapon ammo from 2 levels per enchantment to 1 level. This should prevent the possibility of replacing ammo for a heavily enchanted throwing weapon being too expensive to work in the anvil. Now this is a big one because replacing the ammo from throwing weapons is, I mean, if you've spent a lot of time enchanting a thrown weapon and then you just lose all the components to it, you can't do that with a melee weapon. So that was one big drawback of the thrown weapons, but now it's got a little bit of a fix for it. Trinkets and Bobbles. We've re-added the ability to assign multiple keys to the T and B keybinds. Cool. Added a button to toggle the always show mana bar. That's nice. Changed the Dragon's Eye growl sound to be in the player sound category instead of the record category. And the teddy bear now doesn't require empty hands to give the sleeping bonus, but not required being equipped as a bobble when sleeping. Wolf armor and storage. Added Moben's compatibility. Texture updates. So I think that, could you not put storage on wolves before? I guess you couldn't. Minor bug fixes and changes. This is a lot of the more boring stuff we're going to fly through, and I'll be skim reading over this. Disable seasonal hats from Reborn Cores they broke with Moben's. Lock smelting recipes reduced to 3 nuggets each. It was 4. And this is for you guys that are smelting your steel locks to try and get steel without having to go to the Nether. Small change, but big change in terms of how many locks you need to get like 1 or 2 crates or an iron paxel as a steel paxel as an example. I stopped doing this a while back because getting syntheticide is actually really quite easy, and you can do it without getting killed in the Nether, without even having to fight. Rift forests have higher chances to spawn spooky things. That's cool. I like that. Particle culling update should fix shader conflict with particles suddenly being culled indefinitely after a long time. Lowered weight of vineyards spawn in villages. That's probably a good idea. I mean, vineyards were absolutely everywhere. Almost every village I ran into felt like it had a vineyard in it. And they've also lowered weight of RLCraft cryo bit structure. Remove mountain spawns. Only spawns in hills now. I don't even really know what that is. Can no longer carry on parasite mobs. That was a funny one. I never did it myself, but you could literally pick up parasite mods with the carry-on mod. There's been a buff, guys. The Living Great Axe and Scythe now deal 15 damage, and it was 12. And the Sentience Great Axe and the Scythe now deal 20 damage, was 17. I literally just this morning released a video on the Sentient Scythe and how to get it. Perfect timing, as it's now been buffed and is much stronger, and it's definitively now, you know, the strongest weapon in the game, I think, by a considerable amount. Whereas previously, you know, where it was just at 17, it was still very, 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 very good, but not necessarily so far ahead of everything else that it was worth how long and how difficult it is to get. Fix small placement animation issue, fancy block particles on furnaces, saddle renamed to basic saddle. Grapes only give half thirst droplet upon consuming, which is probably good because grapes were OP for early game water management. I hardly got parasites because I just eat grapes all the time. Deathworm AI has been fixed, good, because those things are always killing themselves somehow against cacti, against drowning, against I don't know what else. Apparently Shivaxi got a lot of moaning about this one. Guys, skirts are now smeltable. Good lord, you're welcome. Apparently Shivaxi got a lot of shit about the non-smeltable skirts, which is really funny. Fix the chainmail skirt not having a level requirement. Remove the gold feather ingot and iron feather ingot. Never even heard of those because they're unused items. Fair enough. Fix stair recipe for defiled land stairs. Okay. Charm crates and bookshelves to the proper dropper blacklist due to the bug exploit. Okay. Minecarts with chests no longer gave XP from the level up crafting skill. Change, fix the lunar guru altar image from the quest book. Remove the gold iron. Gold iron ingot plus feather recipe. Is that the same? I think they wrote that twice. Fix recipe conflict with mossy stone bricks, stairs and slabs. Blacklisted weapon racks, tall lamps, banners, saplings from carry on for causing ghost blocks and dupes. That's actually really good. Fix missing custom painting, loot, and roguelike dungeons. Cool. Fixed heart crystal. Wait, fix missing custom painting, loot. Oh, isn't there secret rooms in roguelike dungeons that I've forgotten about? Anyway, fix heart crystal ore and citizen ore not having smelting recipes. Pog, dude. Pogo. And then we've got all of the massive thank yous. All the peeps. Bruh, I'm not on here. Where's my thank you, Shivaxi? Bruh, testing hatcheries. Somenutzguy, hatchery tester. Oh, funny. Alright, guys, that is the RLCraft version 2.9.1b hotfix patch notes, which covers all of the patch notes for 2.9.1, not just the hotfix itself. Yeah, man. We're now going to be playing some hardcore poggers. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, consider subscribing. I go live on my Twitch channel pretty much every day, except Monday and Friday I usually take for editing. I also run a RLCraft 2.9 SMP server. You guys would be welcome to join. All you got to do is jump on the Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Somenutzguy. Earn 3,000 channel points, unlock the channel point whitelist redemption thingy, and you'll be welcome to join us. Alrighty, guys. Hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Take care.